Hey, everybody, and welcome back to Six Scale Symposium. My name is Graham. Tonight, we're back at live streaming. We got a good show for you. I have a first timer on the show tonight. We have Robbie Dre himself. What is going
Hello.
on, my friend?
Yeah, it's going. Not much. It's good to be back on the show. I've been thinking about this pretty much all week when you kind of invited me, and it's definitely been a while. So
I did kind of invite you. No, it was a solid
yeah,
invite. It was, hey, come on the show. Let's
get on if you want, I guess.
let's talk about nerdy stuff and kind of nerd out together because it's been a while. Because if anybody doesn't know out there, Rob and I go way back. Not only are we related through law, but we started two channels together. We
Yeah,
had Simple Diversion, which was our cigar and whiskey channel,
yeah, we did that for
and
what, 3 years, two and a half?
3 years, I
Yeah,
think.
something
And
like
then
that. Yeah.
Rob helped to get the Jedi Night's Watch off the ground. So if you guys go back and look at the old videos, we're both in
Oh
them
boy.
together. So this is like a first in a long time. Life happens and whatnot. But Rob is actually he's got a couple Hot Toys figures on the way. As you can see in his background, he's actually been more into like the arcades. We were both into Funko, which I still consider like the gateway drug,
Sure.
because it just opens up to more things. But what else have you been kind of getting into lately?
Well, I mean, obviously, the whole collecting of I try to get as many sports memorabilia, but also Legos. So, yeah, I mean, it's I wouldn't even say cheaper than Hot Toys because
No,
they
not
really
really.
do go for about the same price, sometimes even more. But it's something, I have two kids, so I'm able to kind of build them with my my two sons, and by doing so, and trust me when I say I would get frustrated, so frustrated when they would take the pieces, and I would like hate doing it because it would be more of a hassle trying to calm them down and lose concentration. But then I started getting into it myself more and more. I was pretty kind of into it as a kid myself. But now that I'm getting into it more, going into more of the adult Legos and seeing what they've come out with in the past years, it got me to want to start a channel for my own. And it just started. There's not really any videos up, but I have a lot of plans for the future, a lot of ideas. Um, and yeah, just kind of going from there. I already got the little logo here and trying to get
I
back
like it.
into the showbiz, man.
Yeah, and if anything, it's an outlet for us to just kind of come on here, hang out with people that share the same interests. So,
Yeah,
if you guys want to check out Rob's channel, just subscribe because he's a solid dude and he's going to get some content up soon. So you might as well just subscribe now. I got it in the description below. That's Brick Artemis, and like I said, he's been wanting to get into Hot Toys for a while. He's got his first two coming in the mail right now, and I know you're excited. What two are you getting?
well, it's my second and third one because my
True.
first one was the what was it, the
Is
upgraded suit?
Yeah, he's back
Yeah, right
there.
over there. So, but I'm getting the Into the Spider Verse, Miles Morales, and Spider Gwen. I think that would be a very, since I don't have 20 or 30, 40, 50, whatever figures. The first two I wanted was from a movie that I really liked. And there's only two in the set, so it's not really like, oh, I got to get like 5 to 10 figures from one set. So it would be nice in the corner, along with some other stuff that I have. And yeah, I love the cartoon look. It goes with the arcades and the LED lights when it lights up and stuff like that. Just look really cool. So really excited for that. Really excited for the second movie coming out June 2nd, day after my
More
birthday.
figures
So
coming.
more figures, and that who knows? Maybe these two figures I'm getting now might go up a little bit, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. It's definitely been not the trend lately with Hot Toys where
Yeah,
they haven't been holding the value as well as they were before. And we'll probably talk about that a little bit here in the future of the show. But it's weird how we used to be able to like kind of get Hot Toys even when I first started, and they were kind of like stocks where you're like, well, I can get my money back. And now you kind of really got to make sure you buy what you want because you don't want to have that mindset of, well, I'll just sell it if I want to, because now you don't know if you're going to make your money back or if you're going to lose a bunch of money.
right.
I think there's a lot of factors that go into that. I think the market's oversaturated. There's a ton of pre-order figures. People buy without being truly committed, like they think they're going to like it. And I'm guilty too. I've done it. And then they sell it right away, and then they're just trying to get out from under it. It creates this whole kind of cycle of losing value. But to me, it doesn't really bother me because for the most part, this is like as happy as I've been with my collection where
Sure.
I haven't bought a whole lot and I haven't sold a whole lot because it's just kind of where I want it. So yeah, I'm fine with it. I just kind of collect to collect and get it to where I want it to be, and then I'm pretty happy with it. So
Yeah. Speaking of your collection, I saw your newest uh, you know,
the Tumblr,
piece. Yeah. The Tumblr. I
yeah,
saw that video today. It came out a few hours ago. So that was
yeah, finally got that
pretty
video
sweet.
out.
See it
Yeah,
behind you there?
did you notice the dog kept walking through
Yeah.
my shots and like chewing and sniffing
Yeah.
and oh
I was
man,
watching with my son and he goes, "Yeah, that's sunflower, right?" I was like, "Yeah, that's sunflower."
yeah, that's Sunflower.
So,
She's something else. Well, before we keep going, let me just check in with you guys in the chat. So far, we got Daniel SC, one of the Jedi Knights Watch diehards. He says, "Sideshow half off sales. Why do these things always happen when I can't afford them?"
yeah,
Isn't that the truth? That is the truth. You know what Sideshow also does is when you buy something like 2 weeks later, they give you that $20 code. Like, hey, you earned this code. Use it
yeah.
in like 1 week. And it's like, well, damn, now I'm tempted to buy something else. I don't
Yeah,
want to do
when
that.
you told me about the half off sale, I had to run over there and make sure the two figures I bought off of eBay were not on there because I would have been totally ticked.
And we were talking. I was like, well, I'm ticked that they're not on there because
Oh
then I would maybe
yeah,
add them.
yeah,
So,
right.
oh well. We got Primetime Reviews, another cigar loving friend here. He says, "Yo, what's up, my friend? What's up, Primetime? I hope
What's
all is
up?
well. I hope we can collab someday soon as well." We got Tyria. He says, "Hey, Conquer Knight, um, another one of the friends of the Jedi Knights Watch that's in here a lot. What's up, Jedi Knight? I always love his picture too.
Yeah,
It's a good one.
good
We
guy.
got Calvin Williams the second. Good evening, fellas. We got Beskar Kid. You've taken your first step into a larger world,
Yeah.
Rob.
Oh yeah.
Um,
I'm sure I'm gonna start off with this Lego channel, and then all of a sudden it's like, nope, I'm going to Hot Toys.
and you can do both. I mean, there's
Yeah,
plenty of
yeah, yeah.
collectors out there that have arcades, hot toys,
Sure.
Legos. I've seen it. You can do whatever you want. That's the beauty of YouTube. Yeah, Nick Bachman, Nichols Pickles. Yo, what's going on?
What's up, Nick?
Usually those sideshow codes are good for only for figures that I have or don't want. And that's how I feel about this buy one, get one half off. And we'll talk about that, but that's how I'm feeling because I kept scouring sideshow. I'm like, well, which two? And I'm like, I can't find two that I really need. So I haven't
Almost like
really
they know what they're doing.
almost single songwriter in the house. I haven't seen single songwriter for some time. It's good to see you, my friend. One of the staples in the community, knows pretty much everything there is to know. He says, "Stay happy, keep collecting." We got Eric Hinky. Hello, everyone. Star Wars Hot Toys. Star Wars Hot Toys are awesome. We're going to be talking about Star Wars Hot Toys. Actually, a lot of Star Wars Hot Toys. So, Rob, I know you're newer. I know you keep an eye out on this stuff, but
Oh yeah.
oh, look, we got Fabs Figures in the house as well. He says, "Thanks for the invite, best friend." What's going on, Fabs?
What's
You
up,
know you're
Fabs?
always welcome. Um, Trying to break Robin gently. I didn't know if he could handle your ravishing good looks. So yeah, we got they call me I always Queso Blanco. Hey guys, got an email for VIP access to early Black Friday sales, something like that. Couldn't believe the discounts were 20% off. Managed to get Pennywise for 150 shipped.
Man.
That's the one I was actually tempted on getting was that Pennywise, but I couldn't find another one that I wanted to do with that. So single songwriters giving a shout out to Fabs. Let's see here. So Rob, I want to bring this up because this was actually released or announced, I should say,
Ooh,
last night. And this is a Star Wars figure. This is the ARF Trooper and 501st Legion ATRT. Say that
man,
5 times
you're
fast.
right.
Let me just go full here. There we go. So, Hot Toys has been doing this a little bit lately, where they're teasing some of these, like, I guess you'd call it a vehicle, but it's kind of like in between, like like a tumbler size vehicle and like a speeder bike, where they're
Sure.
a little bit smaller. So they're getting a little bit large here, and it's it's cool that they're doing this with Star Wars because I don't know if they can really do a whole lot because as you know, Star Wars vehicles are freaking enormous, like a
Oh
Millennium
yeah.
Falcon or a Star Destroyer. You know, it's probably not feasible to make those.
Imagine if they did.
Maybe the Slave One, but
Man.
even the Slave One would just be like massive. So I like it that they're trying to do this stuff. This is huge if you're like a Clone Wars fan. Have you seen the Clone Wars? Are you a fan of that?
I've seen a few episodes. I haven't really gotten into it. I've been wanting to, but every time I try to get into it, something else comes out, like House of the Dragon or Mandalorian season 2 back then, and something always pops up where I end up watching that instead because that's what everyone's talking about at the time, you know?
Sure. Yeah, and I've watched bits and pieces of Clone Wars. It's hard to get started in it because it does start a little slow, but
Yeah.
there are a lot of highlights that I've watched, a lot of episodes that are really good. So I've seen a little bit of a mixture of it, but I've never been able to start from the beginning to the finish. It's just yeah, it I love Star Wars, but I just haven't been able to get into it. But this looks cool.
That looks really cool.
I love the paint design on this. I like that dark blue with kind of
Yeah, I
like the
like that
cream
blue.
color.
Yeah.
I've never seen this style of stormtrooper before where he's got almost like something going on the sides of the helmet there. But it does look just like a 501st. It's just kind of got a different helmet. You know, the paint applications look great. We got lots of like scratches and dings and washes going over it. This thing is gonna stand like I think 20 inches tall without a
Ooh,
figure on it. So I mean, people are gonna have to kind of figure out where and how they're gonna display it because it's not like just any collector can get this probably for the price and for where you're putting it.
right.
Let's take a look here. So here's a close up on the trooper
Oh, that's
itself.
pretty cool.
Again, looks like a repurposed 501st, but then they just put a different helmet on. What do you think of this look of a stormtrooper? Is this something that you gravitate towards? Are you more of like a traditional stormtrooper guy? Does it
I'm definitely
mean
more of a traditional stormtrooper guy, but man, if I had a Star Wars collection, I would definitely want to add this, especially if you can buy the trooper by itself. Can you do that?
how dare you question me on my own show, Robbie? That's a good question. I know you can get the vehicle itself separate. Let me know in the chat if you guys know this ahead of me because I'd be curious to know. I think it just comes with the vehicle itself.
Okay, so you
So
can get the vehicle by itself. Okay.
yeah, so we got the ARF Trooper and the 501st for 435, which honestly doesn't seem that bad. And then
Mm,
you have the 501st ATRT by
okay.
itself for 290.
Man, it's pretty cool
So
though.
it's actually a pretty good deal if you get both. I mean, unless people are like army building and they just get a few of these
Right,
separate, I would think this is the better deal where you're going to get them both together.
for sure.
435. I mean, that's cheaper than a die cast Iron Man these days.
Yeah. And I
So that's
mean,
actually not bad.
and you're getting two pieces, you know?
Right. I mean, look at you got the Scout Trooper and Speeder Bike, which I'd love to have from Return of the Jedi. That's, 60, $70 more expensive and it's a smaller vehicle. So it's really not a bad price, which is kind of surprising just because Hot Toys prices have seemed to want to go up and up and up. So
Mhm.
it's really interesting. I I don't know. Let me see if they have the dimensions. I want to see like what kind of case this could fit in. Like if anybody out there is curious. So the product size, it is let's see here. Oh, they're doing it in centimeters. Thanks. Quick, what's your
Can you
conversion?
bend the legs to make it to where it's not
Yeah, so this thing's gonna fold up. Let me go back to let's just take a look here. So I don't know if I'm feeling this trooper, and it might just be me as well, being more of a traditional guy, but it's cool because it's unique, it's different, but I don't know if I'm really digging it.
kind of looks like a bloodhound. Like almost like the ear is coming over the side.
Right?
That's what I get, the vibe.
I do like the paint
I
application
love
on
the
this a
yeah.
lot. And it's even
I like
like
it on the
dirtied
trooper
up
too.
down here. So it
Yeah.
looks like it's actually been like walking around and being used.
I can
Um
literally hear it walking right now
yeah.
from the pictures, you know?
So here's the 501st. So this is kind of what they're taking this off of, but they're just
Okay.
changing the helmet. Okay, so this
Oh
is
man.
why you could maybe buy just the ATRT itself, because if you have Ahsoka or Anakin, then you could put them on. Man, you gotta have a lot of room. I'd love to see somebody just like have like a bunch of
Have
these and
like a
just have
huge
like
battleground.
right. So here it is folded up. So you could
Oh,
kind of
okay.
like fit it into a display case, probably fold it up. Let's just check in with the chat here really quick. So we have the collector in the house. What is going on, my friend? Some of them are talking about the Sideshow sales, and yeah, we're going to talk about that. Beskar Kid says the Clone Wars have some of the best storytelling in all of Star Wars, and I'm not going to disagree with that. The episodes I've seen are really good.
Yeah.
It's just been hard for me to start at the beginning and just like stay with it for some reason, but I can
Yeah,
skip around.
I've heard a lot of good things about it, and I've seen a lot of different clips on YouTube, and kind of getting that background and just doing it from YouTube rather than going and watching the whole series. Get to know Anakin a little bit more. And when they brought Ahsoka into Mandalorian season 2, I wanted to know who she was more.
Right.
I just did a lot of YouTube stuff, but yeah, it seemed really cool.
Well, and they tied it in really well to the prequels.
Yeah, yeah.
So it was kind of all happening at the same time. Now, I don't know if you know this, but Ahsoka, when she was first introduced, wasn't really well liked. Did you know that?
I did not.
And then she became like this fan favorite, and now there's all
From
this
yeah,
lore
well,
about her. So I like her a lot too, but I kind
and
of fell in love with her.
The Clone Wars is between episode 2 and 3, correct?
Correct.
Okay, I'm just making sure I'm not
Yeah.
not too much of an idiot.
And then Rebels is obviously after
Okay,
episode
yeah.
3. Let's see here. Happy with this piece. Reasonably priced. Yeah, I agree. I'm actually kind of
Yeah, it really
surprised
is.
with the price. I was thinking easily 500 plus. Daniel is a big Star Wars collector. He says this is a must for me. Daniel, is there any Star Wars though that isn't a must for you? I'd be curious to know that. The Beskar Kid says it folds down too.
Yep.
I did not realize the bark is about 6 inches longer than a scout bike. You can only get the trooper with the ATRT.
Okay.
So that makes sense because that's obviously how they're gonna, make
Gonna make
some
them more
sales on
exclusive
it.
too later on,
Right.
yeah.
So it'll fit in a DF series module case with a trooper riding in it. So DF is the step above the 6 series, what I have
Okay.
here. So their offices are going to be taller. But I wonder if you took a shelf out of a DTOF, I wonder if this would fit into a DTOF shelf.
Sure, yeah.
Because you couldn't really put this on top of a DTOF because a lot of people put like their bigger stuff on top. But because it's tall instead of wide, you're probably going to hit a ceiling. So
Yeah. It would look really good in your collection.
it would, but it wouldn't fit just because
Yeah.
I've gotten rid of all that crap.
Right.
It's cool. I mean, I can admire it. So single songwriter wants 2
Oh,
for
for sure.
Ahsoka and Anakin. See that they got them on the
That would
pictures. They're
be
getting them.
awesome.
The space needed for a whole battalion of ATRTs.
Mm.
Man, I can only imagine. It's a lot of space. TCW is a hard watch at first. You gotta want it, I get that, and maybe it's almost like Game of Thrones, where the first couple episodes you're getting to learn some new characters and you're getting to know what's going on and stuff. You kind of got to stick with it, and then it starts picking up. But I don't know, maybe not.
Yeah.
Armor, not a fan. Rebels is a harder watch. Yeah, I tried on Rebels as well. So I don't know. This looks cool. I'd love to see. It sounds like some of you guys out there are gonna pick this up. I mean, I don't see anything wrong with it. It's just gonna be a big piece, and it's gonna be Clone Wars. So I just don't think it's going to. I don't think everybody's gonna want it, but I think there's definitely a big enough following for Clone Wars
Oh,
that
for
this is
sure.
gonna be a hot item. Plus, the price is decent. Plus, it looks really good. I mean, look at you just got the detail on it. You got the antennas. it's going to articulate. I wonder how well these things are going to stand. I'm sure balance has a lot to do with it, just because of how the weight is distributed
Yeah.
from the top and the bottom.
When
But
somebody's going to get a big battlefield, someone's going to put it all together for you so
yeah,
you can
maybe
see it.
Fabs will. He'll
Yeah,
If
there
he
you
gets
go.
4 of them, he could do that and show them off. But tell me
No,
out there in the
Fabs.
chat if this lights up. Is this just painted controls or does it actually light up? So a normal trooper comes with a couple guns, comes with his, typical display stand, and then they're just showing off the ATRT itself. But this
Um,
thing's oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry. Let me question you on your channel once again. So you know way more about Hot Toys than I do, obviously, which is why I'm the guest. But when they sit on there like that, is it hurting the joints or there anything like? Is it depending on what figure you put on there? Is it if you have them on there for too long? Is it kind of destroying their clothing or their joints or anything like that? Or
Yeah,
do you think their legs look pretty straight enough to not? But then his wrist on there kind of look. I don't know.
that's a good question. So I was talking about it in my video today about putting Batman in the tumbler, and it's not something I'm going to do. And I think a lot of it has to do with the material that they're going to use for the outfits of these figures. So with a Batman, he comes with a lot of like these rubber plates, not necessarily pleather, but rubber. So I feel like stretching it or bending it in that extreme pose just isn't good for the figure over time. I wouldn't, maybe for photos would be fine, but
Yeah.
I don't want to risk the DX19 panels, the glue kind of being undone and it starting to peel or anything like that from the pressure of the bend. So for something like that, I'm not testing it. I'm not putting it into the tumbler. But for something like this, I don't know if you can see, Rob, but there's like a nylon undersuit here.
Okay.
So in here, and it's underneath the all the armor, and then you can see obviously the armor's got all the brakes.
Yeah.
So for a figure like this, I would say you probably don't have to worry too much because it does have that stretchy nylon underneath, and then you have
Okay.
all the brakes in the armor itself. So
Hmm.
the hands are going to be on wrist pegs, so that's fine. The gauntlets, if you will, are floating, so those are fine as well. So I think this will be fine if you left him into that pose on the ATRT for long periods of time. I don't even think like the nylon would overstretch for a period of time. I think you'd be okay. So that's a good question
Okay.
though.
Well, thank you.
Oh, Daniel says that's a deal. It doesn't come with the sand base. That's a deal killer. I know you're being sarcastic, Daniel, with the footprints. Man.
Hmm.
All right, let me just make sure here. So yeah, good figure comes out October to March 2023 to 2024. That's obviously a ways out, so you guys have time if you're going to pre-order this to save up and make the adjustments if that's something that you really want. So yeah, that came out today. So we're getting more
Man.
announcements, but what we need is releases. We've been wanting Hot Toys to release figures
Man.
for a long time, and they finally answered the call a couple nights ago. And I'm excited for this one, Rob. I collect pretty much just the original trilogy of Star Wars, but I do like Mando, so I'm going to
Oh
collect a
yeah.
few of the Mandalorian figures. But this is one that I've pre-ordered pretty much day one, I think. And this is Bo-Katan, released in Hong Kong. I gotta say, I'm happy with it. I think the likeness is there to Amy Sackhoff, at least from these blogger pics.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on this figure? Do you see the likeness? Not so much. Do you have any problems with it? I know some people have complained about the sculpted hair.
I was gonna say the one thing I could kind of pick on is the hair. I think the face looks really good. The the rest of the head sculpt looks really good. I think the helmet looks awesome. That's probably my favorite part of it. Like the paint there and the design, all the detail in there. But yeah, the hair is a little. It looks a little. I don't want to say on the cheap end, but it could be better. Could look better.
I don't mind it just because I've seen what they do with rooted hair.
Sure, sure.
Um,
You don't have to worry about that. Yeah.
right. This is a tough. If you had this figure, would you pose her with the helmet on or with the portrait?
I would personally have the helmet on just because like I said, I really like the design of the helmet.
That's
Um,
pretty cool.
but I mean, if you're wanting to do more of a, I guess more of a simple stance, so you're not, messing with the figure too much, then yeah, I'll take the helmet off. But I want to do something pretty cool. Man, the helmet looks awesome.
It does, because I was looking at her too, and I'm like, man, that portrait actually looks really good.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
paint applications. She's even got the scar on kind of like the side of her forehead.
Is there a way that, and you might have already put a picture up where she's like just standing and holding the helmet in her
Yep.
arm?
Yeah, you can do that
That'd be
too,
pretty cool.
obviously.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I
her
I'm
her
I'm
her
happy. I'd
face
have to see
sculpt
this in
is
person,
pretty
but
nice.
I'm happy with it.
Yeah.
Like, I think the paint apps look really good. I think the likeness is there. She's got one of those unique faces. I think she's still, an attractive woman, but her face is kind of unique. Like the jawline or the cheekbones just kind of makes her a unique
Yeah.
person. And I think they did capture that. So,
And close up in this picture, the hair doesn't look as bad as the other photo did. The
right.
other photo a little far away kind of looked bad, but closer up it looks pretty good.
Man, the more I look at this, the more
And it kind of looks
I
like
need her.
that it kind of looks like it would go with that armor from the trooper from the last one, that blue and white,
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
mesh well together.
Yes. I love the detail. I love,
Oh
all
yeah,
of the scratches and the armor, and the
man.
pants are going to be nice for articulation. We got the nice belt and all the detail going on in that. This is a really good figure. The one knock that I do have on this is that this is going to be single jointed elbows. So
Okay.
this is going to be the 90 degrees is as far as you can bend
And that means it doesn't
the
have like
elbows.
the clicking, you
No,
know?
that's ratcheting. So
Okay.
basically her arm's gonna bend 90 instead of the newer ones with the double joint that'll come to here.
Double
So
joint.
she'll
Okay.
bend about here, which is a big no-no these days. I don't know why they would go with single jointed elbows when it's not like the elbows are exposed. So like because sometimes the double joints look a little nasty
Hmm.
if they're exposed, but I don't understand why they would have done this with a figure. I mean, that's blasphemy, if anything, blasphemy. I love the pistol. Gosh,
Yeah,
look at
man.
all the
That's the detail on that helmet. Man,
so
that's awesome. And I love the cloth here on her arm too, kind of separating from the armor. Looks very realistic.
typically, Rob, when I'm posing my figures, I always have helmets on or cowls or
Yeah,
whatever. I don't typically use the portrait. Even Captain America, I don't have the portrait. I have
sure.
him masked. And I don't know why. I've just always liked them with their I guess they're like superhero costume on. And I'm just trying to look. Yeah, like this would be like maybe one of the first figures that I could see myself like going back and forth on a lot and like
Yeah,
maybe even using the portrait because I do think it's very good and I don't know, I like both looks. I know Fabs usually
man.
gets two. This would be one if I had the funds, would be fun to get two, but it ain't
Oh
gonna
yeah.
happen. But yeah, I'm
Yeah.
really happy with this. Hopefully Sideshow gets it in soon so that we can all have our pre-orders shipped because yeah, we've been waiting a while. This one got delayed. And
Man.
she's been a great character in the show. Who is your favorite character in The Mandalorian so far?
Am I allowed to say Mandalorian?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I would say him. I mean, you got, Grogu and but yeah, for sure the Mandalorian. I feel like there's a lot to be told about him yet that I'm looking forward to learning, hopefully hearing more about.
When does season 3 come out? Is it at the end of 2023?
I'm not 100%, but
I think it's later next year, but
okay,
I don't know.
man.
Like I have Mando, I need Bo-Katan, I need Ahsoka. Those are the 3 that I for sure need from the Mandalorian line. I'm not by any means a completionist, so I don't need to collect a whole line. I just want to get the
The
characters I
main,
love.
yeah.
Yep.
Is
And
it is are the other characters out? I know Mandalorian is,
yeah, so they have. Let me see.
and then they have a couple different Mandalorians, right?
Yes, they do, and they have the Chrome one coming out.
Yeah, yeah.
So the figures that we have out now, we have the armor, we have the Death Watch Mandalorian. Technically, you have the Boba Fett on the
Yeah.
throne is from Mandalorian. Armor is right here. Technically, the Tusken Raiders from the Mandalorian, but
Okay.
we can all use it for typical Star Wars. They have IG-11,
Oh yeah, he's pretty cool.
Stormtrooper Commander. We got the swoop bike that just came out. So we also have Moff Gideon.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
So there's definitely a lot of Mando figures out. We have the Dark
Mhm.
Trooper out, Assault Tank Commander,
A lot more than I
um,
thought.
Artillery Stormtrooper. We got the Blurg just came
The
out.
blurg is pretty sweet.
Another
I was on Fab's his raffle, and that's the one I was gonna choose, or one of the two that I was gonna choose if I won. But man,
Transport Trooper. So there's a good amount of figures. Luke. So the ones we got coming is Bo-Katan, Luke, Kill. I forget his name. Cobb Vanth.
okay,
We got Fennec. Technically, I think she might be from Boba Fett. Casca Reeves, Axe Woves, and then Ahsoka's another one I'm really
yeah,
waiting
you
for.
have to get her,
Yep.
man.
So be selective, my friends, because there's just so much goodness out there. It's tough and whatnot. So let's go check in with the chat, see what everybody's talking about here. Beskar Kid says, I always find the talk about lack of releases humorous. We've had 18 new Star Wars releases this year, 19 including Bo-Katan. I know,
Yeah,
but it feels like, I'm not saying it's fact, it feels like we're getting like 3 or 4 announcements to one release. So it just feels like there isn't enough coming out, and we're just building more and more of a line of pre-orders. That's just my opinion anyways. Doesn't make it true. It's just kind of how it feels in my
yeah.
head, I guess. Single songwriter helmet off for season 2 finale with Mando, Luke, Cosca Reeves, and Axe Wolves, Moff Gideon all on display.
Man,
That'll be cool, man. Got Payden in the house. Hello, everyone. What is going on? Thank you for checking in. Don't forget to like the video.
hello, hello.
I got 22 in here. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Also, make sure you subscribe to Rob's new channel that he's just getting up and running. Support the man if you would so please. Armor for TCW is different, but can be customized. Someone mentioned how rooted hair might not work so well at that length. Well, it'd probably be like the Black Widow, where it just kind of, yeah, it's like,
It just
and
like fluffs
it's
out.
It
Looks like
looks
an
like Barbie
afro.
hair. Yeah. I mean, Hot Toys has come a little bit of a ways since then, but I still don't know if it would be like. I'm fine with sculpted hair. I'm perfectly fine with it. I'd rather not futz with it because even like Golden Armor, Wonder Woman,
Yeah,
it looks okay, but I don't know. Like rooted hair looks more realistic if done right, but I don't feel like Hot Toys has necessarily done it right yet. In art looks really good. The in art ones, the figures that are coming out, but I don't know about Hot Toys. Oh, Beskar Kid says mine should be here Thursday. Helmet off
oh
for
wow.
sure. Well, congrats, sir. That's awesome. I did think about getting mine from overseas so I could get it sooner. I didn't want to pay the premium, so I just couldn't do it. Payden says I think February.
Oh, Mando season 3. So
I think that's what he's saying.
man, it's pretty soon.
Just got my Blurg and Swoop Bike and Arena Boba
Nice.
Fett. Well, geez, Daniel, no wonder you don't have any money to spend on this buy one get
Send
one
one
half
my
off.
way.
help a new collector out.
Help start my collection.
Help a new collector out. Sculpted hair is fine with the right lighting in the case. That's true too.
Yeah.
Yeah, Payne says Mando season 3. Well, that's good
Wow,
because
that's
it
crazy.
feels like it's been forever since we've seen Mando. season 2. I mean, I know Boba Fett, we got to see him in a couple episodes, but
Yeah.
it just seems like forever ago since we saw that finale. So
Yeah.
it'd be nice to get back into it. All right. So if you could get a Mandalorian figure, would it just be Mando himself?
Probably. And then Ahsoka. I know I butcher her name, but
Oh, that's right.
okay.
That's good.
Well, I don't know. Some people pronounce it with the H, some people don't, so.
Trying to find. So here's the Mando that's coming out.
I like. Oh, I was gonna say I like that one. That's pretty cool. Wow.
Yeah, this is the deluxe. It comes with all this extra stuff, and he's got more of a chrome look
Ooh, nice.
than the previous version.
How much is that one going for? Oh, okay.
375 or 330. But you'd also get the head sculpt.
Oh man.
The Pedro Pascal head sculpt.
Wow.
So here's a question. If you had this figure, do you think you would, because we're talking about portrait or helmet, would you pose him with the portrait or the helmet?
I would with the head sculpt, I would just like that pretty much.
Yeah.
I like I said earlier with you know, I like them when they're holding the helmet. You have Grogu there and the satchel and yeah, looks really good. And the head sculpt looks good.
So you're getting a couple figures for anybody that joined a little bit late. He's got Spider-Gwen and Miles Morales coming in. Now they both have 2 looks that you can do as well, masked or unmasked. So how do you see yourself posing those figures, but maybe any other future figures that have this? Like, do you think you're more of like, that portrait is so nice, I got to utilize the portrait,
Sure.
or would you rather just go with the helmet look?
I think my problem would be, especially as a newer collector within Hot Toys, is I'm not going to be a great poser at first. So, going with the,
You're a poser, all right.
mask, going with the mask off, I feel like I'd be able to do more, So when Spider-Gwen's looking at her mirror, or, if it just looks like Spider-Gwen and Miles are just talking on a rooftop or something, more so than them swinging and being crazy and, having their legs at a certain distance and going all crazy. Now, I would like to go back and forth, but most of the time I think I would just have the mask off.
Well, and that's the nice thing. Like, you have the option. You can switch it up at any time, and plus, it's your figure. You do whatever the hell you want.
Yeah.
But it's always been tough for me. Like, even the DX-19, the Batman, we had such a great Bruce Wayne head sculpt, and for a lot of people like myself, if it's Batman, it's always cowl. I'm never
For sure.
I'm never gonna have it changed up because it's just, I don't know, it's just the way I am with my Batman figure. So it's kind of like a waste that I'm getting this portrait that I can't utilize, but then I modified it and I just put it on a Bruce Wayne body. So
now if there were, let's say I had more like the Avengers, I think I would have, I'd have their masks on. I wouldn't, because they're all together, it's like they're supposed to be in their suits and everything. So yeah, I don't want them standing around having a conference. They're getting ready for battle. So
Eric says he's waiting for the season 2 Mandalorian on discount. I didn't know you could buy it.
Yeah.
I thought it was just on Disney Plus. Huh. Interesting. I just got Peacemaker season 1.
Ooh.
I bought that, so I just started watching it over again, but that's I can't.
Yeah, I still haven't seen that. I gotta check it out.
It is so funny. You gotta watch that. It came out of nowhere too. Like, I wasn't expecting anything.
Yeah.
Miles,
like one of those shows that everybody talks about, and you're just like, yep. Kind of like The Office or something. It's like,
yeah, it's good, but you're just like, oh,
all these jokes, and you're just like, yeah, it's funny, but I don't get it.
You gotta watch Peacemaker, because I think it's only 10 episodes, so it's not too bad. Plus, you have HBO. Come on.
Yeah.
Get your act together, Rob.
I'll do it. Do it just for the channel.
That's right. Miles and Gwen are great figures for action poses.
Oh, nice. Yeah. I've seen some really cool ones, man.
I love this name, Boba Fettuccine. I'd pose him with his helmet on and hope the head sculpt fits my transport trooper. That's what I was thinking. And it's been kind of back and forth if
Ooh,
the
yeah.
head sculpt is going to fit on the transport trooper. I wouldn't see why they wouldn't do that because to me, I think that would help sales if this head could be put on the transport trooper,
Put on
when
the
he
other.
takes
Yeah.
the helmet off there
Sure.
when that big moment. I can't see why, but somebody said it would work. Somebody else said it wouldn't work. I don't know for sure. Um, it'll be interesting to see if they don't make that peg system the same. That'll be pretty sad because
Yeah.
I could see a lot of people doing that, and that's how you can utilize the head sculpt. Plus, you're
Sure.
still buying that other figure,
Yeah. And like you said, it helped with sales. A lot more people would go out and get it.
right? We have Big Breda in the house from across the world in China. Portrait for second transport trooper Mando, always with helmet. Mandalorians do not remove their helmets, but he did, and he got it stripped. So maybe he's not a Mandalorian. Who knows, right? Guess we'll
Right.
have to wait and see. Breda, thanks for stopping in. Appreciate it, my friend. We got Bobby Ray, portrait to transport trooper, no doubt. I gotta think that'll work. So I gotta think so. We need Mayfield hot toys. Baker Mayfield? No, we don't need that.
Yeah, don't get me started.
don't get don't get Rob started on that. Does anyone else have a hard time getting the more animated looking figures? I want Catwoman and Harley from Batman Ninja, but I can't justify it because I like all my figures looking more realistic. That's a great
Yeah.
question, X-Man Supreme, because I was talking to you, Rob, about that same thing where I was like, I thought about getting Miles and Gwen for the longest
Right.
time because I love the movie, but how would they look with
But
my
you
other
almost have to get a
collection?
different shelf
Right.
to put them on. Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
what do you think about that? Do you think it matters? Would you put all your stuff on one shelf and be like, I think it looks great? Or do you think the same way as like how would that look, or do you not really care?
I think if you really love the figures and you don't have the space, you got to kind of do what you got to do,
Yeah.
and kind of make it work on that shelf. So maybe have the animated ones more in the right corner and the rest of them toward the left, so it does look better. Uh, and then if you do have the space, obviously have different shelves, like we just said. Maybe a shelf on the right side of your desk or the room and compared to the left. But if you don't really want those figures and you only have a certain amount of space, then get what you want, get what you can. But yeah, I mean, I don't think I think if somebody is coming into your, let's say, your room for the first time or your basement, wherever you have your figures, and they look at your shelf for the first time and see all the different characters. I don't think they're going to be
What
like, "Oh,
the
this doesn't look
hell?
good here. Like, what are you doing?" I think they'll just think it's amazing. It's like art.
That's a good point.
So
I honestly don't think they would even look bad with the other figures. I just
yeah,
think it's more of like some of our OCD about that.
yeah, yeah. Like I wouldn't have Miles right in the middle of the Avengers, but I would have him. If you got him and wanted him on your D top or something, put him to the corner.
Yeah, I think if you have the animated figures at least together, making like
Yeah,
even a mini scene, but they're still in like the same case, and there's just like a
yeah,
little, at least a little bit of like a split, like a gap. So
yeah.
I think that's
Or if you're
fine.
really good at posing, you can make it look like they're coming through like a portal into the real world
The
kind of thing.
multiverse.
Yeah, exactly.
That'd be pretty cool. Peacemaker is such a great show. Still surprised that Sideshow has him on waitlist already, though. Oh, I'll be pissed if he does not come back because that
Mm.
is one figure outside of the Batman figure. That was my most anticipated figure. I was so let down when we got the first version with the jointed arms, the one look portrait, but then they changed it, and I'm sure they're not making a large batch of it, so it went waitlist. So I'm hoping it comes back, but either way, I'm getting it. If I got to pay a little bit more of a premium, he's going to be in my collection. I gotta get the
Yeah,
Peacemaker.
as
So
much as you talk about him, you got to get him, Graham. Come on.
I'll get him. I just wasn't going to pre-order him.
Yeah.
Who pre-orders anymore, huh? Sideshow's trying to make us pre-order, but we're not doing it, right,
Well,
boys?
you got to get that other figure you were talking about earlier today first. So
Oh, Ripley.
yeah, yeah.
Kind of regretting that. I
That's why I
placed
had
a
to bring
bid
it
and
up.
I just figured
You're like,
somebody
crap.
would beat me out on it, and nobody's bid yet. There's 24 hours left though, so
Yeah, yeah. Somebody outbid you last second.
yeah. That's true. That could push that trooper to go
Talking Hot
waitlisted
Toys.
if that works. Yeah, I agree. Thank you, single songwriter. He's right. Hit that like button. Appreciate y'all.
Thank
You
you.
want me to
Thank you.
keep streaming? Hit that like button. I need you guys. I need you guys to drive me to make the
that
time to do
motivation.
this. Yeah, you guys motivate me. So,
And then it won't make me feel so bad coming on the show. He says, "Hell no."
this
Hey,
is
you know
comment of the
what?
night so
Fuck.
far. Baker Mayfield. Hell no.
Get
I'm
an
in
offensive
Charlotte,
line.
North Carolina. See what happens.
Gosh.
So we got to talk about this. We're gonna sidebar here. I know some of you
Okay.
might not be
All right.
football fans, but
Give us
Rob
2 minutes.
here is the biggest Baker Mayfield fan you're ever gonna find.
Name my second child after Baker
He
Mayfield.
stands by Baker no matter
And I'm a
what.
Packers fan, but I like Mayfield. It reminds me of Favre, or at least he did. He kind of sucked with Carolina, but I think he got shit on in Cleveland. I think any Carolina fan or any fan can kind of see that, but he took a 16 team to the playoffs and won a playoff game and had a rough year with an injury and then was sent to Carolina with a bad offensive line and looked like shit. And a lot of it was him. He looked terrible in Carolina, but hopefully him starting this weekend, he kind of shows what he's got. I think he's got some talent. He does. He does. He definitely deserves a start. Is he a top 10 like I thought maybe he would be? No.
Top 25.
But starter, you know?
I just love this comment. Baker Mayfield, hell no.
Yeah, you know what?
And then the fact that he's in North
he's
Carolina
like,
too, it makes it so much
that's
better.
funny.
So that's funny.
Yeah.
Thank you, Eric. Peyton says, I am John Cena fan. I hope it comes back. It's one of those things where I don't trust Sideshow anymore. So it would not surprise me in one bit if once it's released, they find this magical batch or it's a higher number than they thought. And now he's in stock. So I'm not sweating it too much yet. We'll see what happens when he's actually released, which is next year. It's nice to pre-order some things, but certain stuff I want to wait till hits stock so I can use those discounts. Yeah, that's, I would tell you guys, if I could give you any advice, pre-order what you know for sure you want and then just wait it out on the rest because things change, finances change, interests change. The last figures that I pre-ordered was Back to the Future 3, the Western, Doc Brown, and Marty. Cool looking figures. I just don't know at this point if I really want them. And now I already put my deposit on them, so I'm kind of out $60.
Yeah, I pre-ordered Wanda and or
but you
Scarlet
still
Witch.
want her.
I do. I still want her, but it was like, man, it's taking forever, and then now there's like a second one coming out, and and then it's like, but then you see these other figures, like, yeah, you still want her, but if you don't have all that money, you see these other ones come out, it's like, well, should I cancel that one because I want this one now and more, and it's a lot of back and forth, and it's like, well, I could get Spider-Gwen and Miles right now and kind of cancel this pre-order and wait another 3 months and she still won't be out, kind of thing. So that's the problem I have with it. But I do like the system they have on their site to where you can, do the whole how you pre-order and pay a certain amount at a time. It helps with, when you're on a budget. But yeah, it takes a while.
It's tough because you definitely have to have patience in this hobby.
Yeah, like Batman Forever, man.
But that's the thing. I'm fine with 6 to 12 months. Like, sure, whatever.
Sure.
But like Loki from Endgame, we still don't have Loki. That thing has been, I believe that's been on pre-order since you and I were collecting Funkos.
Since before Phase 4.
Yeah. So, Wonder Woman from 1984, Wonder Woman, that was supposed to be released in January.
Wow.
We have no idea when that's coming out.
Oh, I really liked her too.
Yeah, that one looks good. I really want
movie
that
wasn't great, but
no, the movie sucks.
I thought the beginning was like pretty decent, and then all of a sudden it just went.
Yeah, it fell apart.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's some of these figures that just take forever. I know Pennywise took forever to come out.
Yeah.
Gamora took a
hear
while.
About the prequel series coming out for Pennywise?
Yeah, I think I did.
Yeah.
I
don't remember what it's coming out on, but it's pretty cool.
Yeah. I want both Wandas, but man, pre-order list is insane after the DOFP, Wolverine, and others drop this year. Will Loki come out end of this year? Endgame.
There you go.
I don't know. Man, you're really hitting it up in the comments tonight. I appreciate you guys. You're keeping this conversation going. That's what it's all about. You know, we have kind of a loose idea of what we want to talk about. Oh God, the booty bots are here.
Oh gosh, beautiful.
Daniel,
What
hit
is
them up.
going on?
Put them on a timeout. Yes, I like that. How right as I say that, I give credit to the chat, and then the booty bots come.
Oh man, that's so funny.
Oh, it must be we're doing something right, I guess.
We're doing something right. Turning somebody on.
What's really funny is when they start super chatting you. So they're giving you money, so then maybe you can like put them up on the
well,
on the
block
screen
them if
there.
they're going to give us money.
Right.
Man, chick's giving us money. All right.
Yeah, you guys know what's going on.
Good.
He did get jacked for that TV show, it seems like.
Yeah.
All right. I want to talk about one more figure before we go into some other discussions. It's because we're kind of going backwards because I haven't been able to talk about him. And it's
Black Adam.
Did I miss it
just
already?
passed? Yeah, you did. Yeah.
So it's the Black Panther, the Shuri from Wakanda Forever. Rob, have you seen this?
I have not. I've seen the figure, not the movie. Yeah. Yes.
Do you have any interest in seeing this movie?
I do. Yeah. I'm hearing mixed reviews about it. I heard they did the ending very well. But then I also hear that it wasn't as good as the first. So, but I do want to see it. You know, I think the MCU has kind of gone a little downhill since No Way Home. But yeah, just a little bit. But yeah, I mean, the figure itself looks awesome. I did like the first Black Panther movie a lot. So, and I'm looking forward to kind of seeing how they, remember the original. So I always forget his last name. I know it's
Boseman?
Chadwick
Chadwick Boseman?
There you go. Thank you. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how they do that. I heard the ending's emotional, but yeah.
This guy. I haven't seen it yet either. I do want to. I might see it soon, actually. But I'm a little leery again too on how, like you said, how are they going to write it to switch over from
Sure.
Chadwick Boseman's character? And like you said, they have not, outside of maybe No Way Home, I don't feel like they've made great movies. I didn't think Thor was good. I didn't think Doctor Strange 2 was good. I know some people really like it. It didn't bring me into it.
I don't mind, and I don't want to get too political here, but I don't mind making the new Avengers basically all female. But it's a huge change too fast. You know what I mean? Like you're losing the original Cap, you're losing Iron Man, even Hawkeye, and it's like even the Hulk. So it's like it's a little too much too fast. The Hulk, oh my gosh. But yeah.
Is it really a spoiler? I thought everybody knew that.
Yeah, I thought it looks like a woman, right? You can kind of
tell. Movie was 8 for 10. Some powerful scenes. Well, yeah. So I guess we'll see what the movie is all about. But let's just take a look at the figure here. Really quick though, I do want to check her price and when she's coming out because I guess I didn't look at that. $264. And we're looking at January to June of 2024. Dude, you're right. It will be 2029 before she actually comes out.
Look forward to your review in 2029.
The day they killed Stark in Endgame was the end of the MCU. Yeah, I totally agree because It really was the end game. Like, that's where Marvel
Right.
peaked, and then what do we do from here?
And honestly, even though No Way Home was a 10 out of 10 film for me, the only reason it was good was because they brought back the past Spider-Mans. It wasn't really that good for a MCU movie. It was good because of a Spider-Man fan, you know? So yeah, I agree with that a lot.
I mean, it was kinda like, yeah, what do we do from here? What you know, it was like they fought the ultimate villain. Um, they tried the TV series, and most of them were okay. They just none of them really seemed like
Yeah,
memorable,
some of
like
them
the
are
last.
fun, but yeah,
So, I mean,
DC's gonna make a comeback. It's gonna happen.
well, they have to, and that's kinda how
Yep.
things go. It goes in waves, when you're hot sometimes, you're not the other times, so
It's weird because you think for a minute Marvel is never gonna die at this point. Like
that's true.
nothing is in theaters except for Marvel. Like that's the only thing hitting. But yeah, good things come to an end.
That's true. Dude, this looks really good, though.
It does. It really does.
I
Yeah.
like the light eyes here instead of, like, a dark. I wonder if this is painted or if, like I wouldn't assume there's batteries that go in here and then they light up. I would assume it's just a
Hmm.
lighter eye, but it looks really, really cool, and then you have, like, almost like diamond studs
Man,
going
I
on here.
yeah. The detail in the hands and the arm as well, like how
Well,
much depth.
I like the shape of the helmet as well, like how
Yeah.
the ears kinda come out to the side. It looks dope, like, this thing
Yeah.
is
Now you
pretty
have
cool.
the original Black Panther,
I
don't
do,
you?
yeah, I have Civil
Yeah.
War, which
Okay.
is a simple figure, doesn't come with a whole lot, but I think it's the superior of the 2 Black Panther figures.
Sure.
But
Yeah,
I
this
love,
one,
the gold
man.
too in contrast to the black looks great.
I like the body shape too. I mean,
Yes, yes, very
she's
sexy. Yes.
here's a very sexy. Um, but no, just that I mean that pose right there is awesome.
Yeah, I like that. Even a little bit more of, like, detail going on in the suit here.
Yeah,
I'm
man.
wondering if these gold panels are, like, glued down, that always gives me a little bit of pause, just making sure, like, they'll hold up. I've had figures like Rocket Raccoon where, just some of those flaps come undone, but, hopefully that's kind of fixed at this point. And the funny thing is she's not bent in, like, a really dynamic pose, but I don't see, like, a lot of wrinkling or creasing going on.
Sure.
Like,
Oh man, that's
it looks
I
really
love
good,
the
like,
claws. The claws really make it.
yeah, she's got super long claws, but I think too, like, the original Black Panther was mostly it was, like, all black. You had
Yeah.
the silver going on in, like, the necklace area, but, like,
Yep.
this, you have a lot of contrast, you have a lot of, areas that stand out. Even in the suit up here, like, the way the light hits it, it almost looks like there's, like a bronze shining through as well.
Man. And even though she has the mask on, there seems to be so much expression. You
Right.
know what I mean? Somehow. But maybe it's the poses.
It's all about poses.
All about the pose.
What do you would this be I mean, I know you're gonna be super
Yeah.
selective because 'cause you're just starting out, so, like, you have, like,
Th-
your base of things you
it's
want.
these figures though that get me to want to get more into just saying, screw it, let's start collecting more Avengers figures. Things like this, things like the WandaVision, the things kind of outside of the box. Everybody wants a Spider-Man, everybody wants a Captain America figure, but then you see this one, it's like, man, you could put this with anything. You don't need to get all the Avengers, you can put this with my Spider-Gwen and my Miles if you wanted to. It's kind of like in that middle ground. Plus, my problem is once I start, I can't stop. So,
And
that's
that's
the
in
problem.
multiple
Yep.
areas of his life, I'm
Like if
sure.
if if I would have won that raffle in Fab's raffle, I would have just gone crazy. Oh, I got Spider Gwen and Miles, and I got this other figure coming. I'm gonna go nuts. So, but
So so my question is, It's escaping me, so I'm trying to pull it back in here quick. Um, damn, I can't remember. But
If let's say you did not have a Black Panther
mhm.
already, and you were looking to get one, would you get her or would you get Chadwick?
I probably still want to get Chadwick. So okay, that reminds me of my question now. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Will you buy figures that you just think are super super cool, like this one?
Sure.
Maybe you haven't seen the movie, or maybe you don't like the movie. Do you think you'll still buy a figure, or do you have to have that connection with the movie in order to really like want a figure?
Me personally, I think being on a budget and everything, you have to have that connection. At least when you're starting your collection. You know what I mean? Like you need to get the ones that you have that connection with. Um, if I was, let's say I had like 5 Avengers, let's say I had like the main guys, right? Um, and then I saw her and it's like, well, should I get her or should I get, like Batman? Let's think outside the box. Go to DC route. Um, I think I would get maybe her. Obviously I'd get it because I would know my mind works weird. I would know that I will get a Batman eventually. If I get a Batman first, I probably will never get her. But then you have the thought, well, I'm not going to wait to get her. Do I need her? But I have a Civil War in my head every day. So, um, did anything I said
Yeah,
make
no,
sense? Probably
it's
not.
definitely
But
a place I don't want to be. Is in your head
yeah,
because a lot goes
exactly.
on there. But no, but I've always been where like I have to like the movie as well. Like same thing where I'm not gonna buy a figure because I think it's cool. Like if I'm not
Yeah,
trying to think of a good example, but if the character doesn't mean anything to me, I can't get it because this is such a expensive hobby. I do have to be selective, so I got to buy what I love. I can't
yeah,
just buy what I like. I've tried that; it didn't work.
sure.
But this is a figure that the more I look at it, the more I'm like falling in love with it. But I could see myself in 6 months being like over it.
Right.
Maybe if the movie stinks, or
Right. But
I
that's
don't.
another thing too is I haven't seen the movie yet. So I'm
Right.
not going to pre-order this figure and then I see the movie worried that the movie's going to suck? Like I've got to enjoy the movie. It's like one of those things like, yeah, okay, people are saying it's good, but what if I don't like it? Or people are saying it's not good, but what if I love it? So,
Here's a
yeah,
question.
she's got some really cool poses. I
Yeah,
I like her a
and
lot.
and the suit doesn't look. It looks like the suit can take it for the most part. Like
Yeah.
you don't see. It looks thin, where I don't think it's gonna be like
It
totally
kind of
wrinkling
reminds
up.
me of the same, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it kind of reminds me of the same style of material as the upgraded suit for Spider-Man. Different color, obviously, but it kind
It
of has that look.
it might be, but I'm wondering if it's even like a thinner material.
Okay,
I'm not sure, but here's a question. Maybe you don't see the movie, or maybe you don't care for the movie, but how would she look next to Black Panther
right,
in their own little thing, just like kind of the past to the present and just kind of
sure.
like a
Yeah, you could do a
memoriam
lot with
thing?
that. You could do. Oh man, you
I
could
mean,
make
that would
that
even
look
be cool.
really touching. Like have
Right? It's
have
yeah,
them
it's
in
more
the
of an
corner
emotional thing.
somewhere and do something like that. That'd be really cool. That'd be worth getting her.
Yeah, I mean, God, but this figure just looks like so much fun. Like
Man,
you can do so much with it.
I hope you really can too. I mean, sometimes, like you said earlier, you can when they show it on here, it makes it look like you can pose them for like 2 seconds and then hurry and put them back so they don't, crinkle
Right.
or rip or anything.
But even this is how probably I
Yeah,
would pose her. It's
right.
just more of like that, kind of like a simple pose, like a museum pose, but like still got some attitude going on.
Yeah, she looks
Man,
really badass.
let me just the chat's been kind of going here. Let me just check in really quick because I think Beskar Kid, I know he's leaving. So he says gotta run. Gym time. Oh, work on those legs, man.
Yeah,
Have
get
a
it.
good night, everybody. Thank you for being a part of the show tonight and being in the chat, man. I appreciate it. Let's uh let's go back up here, see what I missed. Yee says DC gonna be like Marvel. Yeah, I've heard
Yeah.
rumors that they are gonna try to go
You
down
know,
that route of
speaking of DC a little bit too, I give Black Adam a 7 out of 10. It was fun. I think if you like Shazam, you'll really like Black Adam. So
I like Shazam.
yeah, you'll like Black Adam then.
I don't like crapping on movies, but here it goes. But No Way Home was not for me. Shang-Chi is far my favorite MCU movie. See, and I'm the opposite, where I like Shang-Chi was okay, but I just didn't. It didn't excite me.
Sure.
Did you like it? You haven't even seen it yet, have you?
I haven't seen that one.
Blasphemy.
I know. I started watching it and then ended up watching something else. I don't remember.
Gotcha.
But I got to finish it. It's one of those things where it's like you're supposed to watch it with the wife, and then you're trying to figure out a time to watch it with the wife, and the kids have YouTube on, and it's like a battle.
Bluey. Yeah, shit like that.
Yeah.
Fab says, Robbie, I didn't know this was you.
Woo.
Deuces.
Yep, it's me, man.
It's me, man.
It's me.
Nightsight, thoughts on Nezuko pre-order delays? Do you guys collect Mezco? I do not, so I wouldn't be the one to really give you any insight on that. Sorry, my friend.
And he just left.
Yeah, he's like, F you guys. Best Disney Plus Marvel shows were WandaVision and Loki. I liked Loki a lot.
Yeah.
I thought it just took a while to kind of get me into it.
I really liked Hawkeye too. It was fun. It wasn't like you said,
Hawkeye was
more.
okay.
You know, it's not something I'm going to remember, but
Right, it's
it was
kind
a
of
lot of
forgettable.
fun. Yeah.
I think
But
Captain
I had
America was
fun
my
watching
least
it.
favorite.
Oh yeah.
But-
Well, you haven't seen She-Hulk yet, so.
Oh yeah, I stopped watching, so I didn't
will
see
say
Miss Marvel or She-Hulk.
some of the She-Hulk story is pretty good, but then you see some of the CGI and you're like, oh, it's ruined. You know, you can't.
The twerking.
That's when you know MCU just gave up. But yeah, WandaVision was one of my favorites of all MCU.
X-Man Supreme says WandaVision was so
Yeah.
good. Single Songwriter says the Black Panther reissue up for pre-order looks great. Also new and improved body and suit. True. You know, hey Rob, that could be something you plan
There you
for in the
go.
next
Yeah.
couple of years, where you get the Black Panther and this one.
Ooh.
Because so she's coming out January. That sucks that she's so far away. I mean, my mindset
Yeah.
could completely change by then, but I
Right.
really do like this figure. But if we go back, so this was nice because they pretty much give us the Civil War look,
Oh, he's cool.
but they include the head sculpt from the Solo movie. So 285, July to December of next year.
Okay.
So yeah,
So
he's got
when they say July to December, is it more so December?
it's just ballpark.
Yeah.
It's really hard to track. There's no pattern. There's no consistency. Like some figures will come early, some will be delayed. Some come out in Hong Kong, and a week later they're on Sideshow. Some come out in Hong Kong, and 3 months later they're in Sideshow.
Why do they do that? Do they do that to see how many sales they get so they know how many to make, or does it just take that long to make?
No, I think sometimes, like maybe if they have a head sculpt that they're they're fine tuning, maybe they'll delay it because they want to get the head sculpt right, or maybe. I mean, I don't know all that stuff. You know, Fabs would say that he's probably a better outlet for that, but I've stopped guessing how Hot Toys works because they don't do things how I would as a business, which they're doing it fine because they're obviously successful, but I don't understand it sometimes because even some of these figures, like they're reissuing the tactical Batman from Justice League.
Okay.
You already have the sculpt in the mold and everything. Why is it going to take a year to a year and a half to come out? Like, so I don't know.
And maybe it's more of a marketing. Then you can't really say that either because then the movie comes out 2 years before the figure does. So can't really use it as a.
That's the thing. Like,
yeah.
Black Widow came out. They came out with the Black Widow figures maybe right before the movie came out, but then 3 or 4 months after the movie was already out, they come out with Yelena.
Yeah.
The movie didn't do great.
Oh, there is a Yelena, huh?
Yeah, and people were already kind of off the bandwagon, and now you're announcing it's like strike the iron when it's hot. So
are they trying to make it to where they don't have, hundreds of thousands of figures, so that that they're, they do keep their worth and they do keep, their
No, they don't care. They just
they
want to
don't
make
care.
money. They just want you to buy, and then if
Yeah.
if they're
I'm just
finding
trying to
out that
figure it
you're
out, you know.
yeah, if they find out like these figures are going for a lot of money in the secondhand market, they're gonna probably
They'll bring
reissue
it
it
back.
because they want
Yeah.
to get in on that too, because they're
Right.
business. So
Sure.
but this Black Panther looks pretty cool. But you can see the difference, Rob, where he's got a
Yeah.
little bit of silver, but mostly he's black. Where he's got silver running through the mask too. But I don't know, something about her. She looks more elegant
Yeah.
and cool. So they
Yeah.
would look
Man.
great together, I will say. All right, let me
Makes me want
sift
to see the
through.
movie.
I know, I do too. So this is a good point, Rob, especially for you kind of being new to the game. Focus is key in this game. I just decided that I'm going to focus on MCU and X-Men. I'll minor I like that. I'll minor in Batman
And
and
dabble.
dabble in Star Wars.
Yeah.
I mean, you and I are close. You've seen how my collections changed. I was trying to kind of grab everything I could, and then I think after like the 2-year mark of collecting, I was finally like settling into kind of what I wanted to hone in on and
Yeah.
kind of being comfortable with where I was at, where I didn't feel like I just had to get everything. So focus is key. And sometimes focus changes though. Like a good friend of mine, Andrew James, collected a lot of like Terminator, Batman, Alien,
Hmm.
like one-off stuff. But now he's kind of reigniting his love for Iron Man. So he's going and just getting a lot of Iron Man figures and kind of selling off maybe some other ones he's lost interest in. So
Hmm.
focus does change, but I think as long as you have a focus, you're going to be in a good place and you won't tap out of this hobby. The hobby is expensive, but even if people get a figure a year, you're still in this community, you're still a part of it. Don't look at my collection or anybody else's and think less. We're all on different levels, or not even levels, but just different situations in life. So
Sure.
if you have two figures and you love those figures, that's all that matters. Like, you're a
Yeah.
collector, and yeah, that's really all I gotta say about that,
Got
I
to
guess.
start somewhere.
That's right. But I think too, sometimes we have in our mind that we have to collect thousands of figures to be a collector, and that's not true.
Right.
Looks like Miles material. Oh, okay. Looks like Miles
Oh, there you
material,
go.
very
Yeah.
flexible.
So is that
Okay.
Miles like the one from the video game Miles, or
That's a good question.
I'm guessing that one
This is
because that one's got the black suit and
right. I love Wakanda forever. This figure looks amazing, but I got to focus on my heart. Once I fill out my X-Men collection and a select few Avengers, then I can go for aesthetic, maybe. I get it. I get it. James Gunn is teasing Mr. Terrific for DC. Yeah, I think Fabs here is talking about basically what we were just talking about, like the releases and timing and stuff. And yeah, even he says there's no pattern; it just varies. Yeah, it's really hard to figure out Hot Toys and kind of their mindset. They showed the re-up 89 Batman, and it's like, yeah, where is it already? So that's the thing too. Like around Star Wars time in May, we got they teased us with Padme and God, why can I never remember his name? Samuel L. Jackson's character in Star Wars, Rob. Mace
um,
Windu.
yeah, there you go.
Thank you. They teased us with Mace Windu, so they announced the figure and
Got
they
me on the
had
spot.
Mace Windu his back to us with his purple lightsaber, kind of blurred out a little bit, but we're like, oh, he's coming. We've
I don't
still
have him
yet
out yet.
no, we've still yet to get an
Oh wow.
announcement. And then 89 Batman, they showed him at some Comic Cons. They're gonna reissue that one. Hasn't been announced yet.
Man.
Again, it's like with the timing, it's just like he's
Hmm.
just teasing us.
And they don't have like the Penguin from Returns or anything like that yet.
No.
One day.
Fabs was talking about that on his stream because somebody did like a custom penguin.
Oh,
Looks
nice.
really good, really expensive, but I mean, I gotta think one day they'll make them. It's just
And
when.
then you have like the duck, like
Yes, that
Duckmobile
would be a
or
great
whatever it is.
vehicle.
Man, and then have like a penguin next to him or something like that with the missile, the
Oh,
rocket.
the duck vehicle, and then like
And then have that'd be cool.
penguins for like accessories for the penguin
Sure.
figure. Be like a deluxe. That'd be really
Yeah,
cool.
you can do a lot with that.
Bobby Ray
Yeah,
says,
Hot
if you don't
Toys.
have 300 figures, Fab's figures isn't showing your comment. Amen to that, brother. He does not like poor people or people that don't have their doctorate degree.
Hey, he had a guy on his video the last time that had no figures. That was
Flavio.
funny. Yeah.
Or
People
furniture.
were giving him crap. He's like, no, I have a collection.
I swear to God, I got figures.
I'm
See, you are smart enough to at least show your arcades.
Yeah, I had to show something. I don't know.
Let's see how many figures Robbie has in a year. It's true. I'm a little worried about Robbie, getting going, getting the figure in hand, and then like being like kind of like just having like bloodshot eyes and be like, I have to get more.
Yeah, I don't want to. Yeah, well, the thing too is I don't want to break them.
Right.
Like maybe the more you get into it, the more comfortable you get. But when you spend like $200 to $300 on a figure, you're like, well, if I pull his hand off and put another one on, and the peg breaks, then I'm done with this hobby. Like,
We'll
there's
just
no
throw
way
it
I'm
out.
going. It's like, well, shit. But yeah, it always makes me nervous.
So the video game
Okay,
Miles is very
okay,
flexible.
he's really cool. That one's awesome.
Mace Windu is coming sometime next year, maybe Toy Fair 2023. Fabs and Bobby Ray going at it here a little bit. I like the banter. It's good.
Oh yeah, keeps it going.
Poor Flavio. Yeah. Let's see. What the heck? Hot Toys coats them with cocaine, so they're very addictive. It feels like it sometimes. It feels like it. But man, when you look at
Maybe that.
figures like this, yeah,
Yeah,
it feels like they're pulling you in because this is a beautiful figure, and I'm kind of just seeing it with you, Rob. Now I saw it before, but I didn't look at all the pictures until now, and I gotta say, like, I'm in love with it. Like, I want to go
yeah,
see the movie now.
man.
Ooh, look at that shot.
A
Very cool. I think that's is
lot
this the
you can do
beginning?
with her. For
Yeah.
for us, I don't want to say she's simple. But to not have like a face sculpt or anything like that, there's a lot you can do with her.
See, and I don't mind that because then we kind of keep the price down
Yeah.
if
Well,
we
and I
don't have
think
that
with
extra
her,
portrait.
I would keep the mask on anyways with her.
Right.
No
Fabs,
disrespect to the actress, but just
Fabs or Daniel, you want to help me with these booty bots? They are back. They're
God,
back. All right, so let me see here.
find your love.
So Rob, we just looked at these figures. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Hope you enjoyed that too. Um, so for now, if anybody isn't aware, we have the BOGO sale going on. Buy one, get one, 50% off.
Now's a good time to start collecting.
So this is a first for Sideshow with Hot Toys or Hot Toys in general. They have never done a buy one, get one half off before. So this is new territory that we're in. Let's
Yeah.
see here. Tight. I want to do 6-scale figure. So this is interesting to me, and I know a lot of people have different takes on this. But typically, going back to at least when I've been collecting, you were lucky to get a 10% off sale. When I first started collecting, there wasn't too many sales, maybe a 10% off here and there, but you just had to fork over the money. Things are changing a little bit, and I think they're overproducing a lot of these figures, hence why nobody was pre-ordering, hence why they're all still sitting here. And so now I think they have a lot of a lot of these figures, in their warehouse, and it's taking up a lot of space. They need to move it out to get the new stuff in. So I think that's why they're doing like this big sale, because they need to move this stuff, because maybe it's got something to do with the recession. everything, you can attest to this, Rob. Everything's
Sure.
going up in price. We're not making more money, but like groceries are super expensive. Gas
Yeah.
is super expensive. Going out to eat is super expensive. So I got to think too, maybe some people that joined the hobby in COVID are
Hmm.
out. Maybe
Sure.
some people that were in the hobby just can't afford it anymore because Hot Toys prices have gone up.
Sure.
Um, I don't know. Do you have any thoughts, or I know you're kind of like
Yeah, I mean,
just
it's the same with lumber of any kind,
right.
is going up in price, which is why the arcade one-ups cost so much more now.
That's a
But
good point. Arcades have
yeah,
gone up a lot too.
yeah, it's tough, but yeah, I could see, when you're working from home or having to take off from home, and you get into a new hobby, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna get like these two now, and then a year goes by, you're still at home working, and you next thing you know, you have two detox full, and then you start selling them on eBay and they're not into it anymore. And because you're back at work, and at that point, with everything up in price, you need to start selling your figures. And I mean, it can go as far as that.
Yeah, I mean, end of the
But
day, this is a hobby, and our hobbies are usually the first thing to go when we're
yeah,
in a recession or something like that. When we gotta put food on the table. So I think that's got to be part of it. I think the other part is Hot Toys has definitely made a lot more figures as of recently. Even just the amount of pre-orders, again, it's like at least triple, if not quadruple, of what it used to be back in Fab's heyday. So there's I think there's a lot of variations that are going on. I don't think it's just one thing, but for me it's not the end of the world because I don't collect worrying about how much this is going to be able to sell for if
yeah.
I get
So
sick of
it's
it.
so what you're saying is you think they have overstock and they're
Yes.
trying to get rid of stuff. Okay, yeah,
Yes. Be, yeah, and
because because of all, yeah,
I
I
think
got
that's why they're trying to have things go waitlist sooner like that are on pre-order because they want you to pre-order so they know they can get an idea of how much they need to make. Um, so they're not running into this situation where things are sitting.
you. Right.
I mean, Captain America has been out. Has it been a year? People in the chat, it's got to be close, and that's still sitting. Thanos, this is not battle damage. This has been sitting on here for a long time. Everybody thought Captain Rex was gonna go quick, and here he is,
Yeah.
50% off. Um, the Iron Man figures, we see them.
Oh, that
Pennywise, we
mannequin's
thought was
pretty cool.
gone for like a weekend. He went waitlist for a weekend, and then all of a sudden he came back, and he's been back ever since. Darth Maul, still here.
Man,
Um, just trying to think if there's any that this frick. This Iron Man's been out for a long time.
yeah,
This
Miles.
this Spider Man was he some sort of he was an exclusive.
Man,
Armor, the Armor was an exclusive or like a Toy Fair exclusive, and she's still there. I mean, so there's a lot of figures that are still here that now they're just trying to get rid of. So I think they miscalculated how fast some of these would be selling out. I mean, homemade suit
sure.
Spider-Man's been here
Yeah.
for a hot minute.
How much is
So
he going for now? There's the same
267
price.
here.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, not all of the Hot Toys figures are going to be buy one get one half off. It's just the ones that they want to move. So, there might be some that you might be looking for that you're not going to be able to get that fall into this. But man, even the DX19 falls into this. I mean, that's
So
crazy
so I mean, yeah, really the homemade suit's like $130.
if you get another
Think about it.
figure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right, right. But the
man,
big time collectors too probably have a lot of these figures.
that's that's something that people have said too. Like I've been looking, but man, I
Yeah.
all the ones I want I already have. Man,
But
Jabba the Hutt, get
yeah,
that
I
half
can
off.
I can understand why they're not putting like the brand new stuff on there
Right,
though.
right.
But it does suck.
But even Miles, my Spider-Gwen's been out for a long time, and she's
Yeah.
not on here, which
Yeah,
sucks
I
because I
was
would have
kind of
wanted to get
surprised when
her.
we were talking earlier, yeah, that those two aren't on here.
Some
Because
of
you
these
could
are
you could get that whole that duo set for, you know, 300-400.
right,
You know.
right. So it's interesting. It's a different territory that we're in with these sales, and I gotta think there's going to be even more sales come Black Friday,
Oh
come
yeah.
around Christmas time, because people gotta buy gifts, and that's usually when the big sales come. So for me personally, I really wouldn't mind getting Pennywise. I don't know if this is a figure I love or a figure that I really like, but
So,
I've been attracted to this figure. I can't find a second figure that I even want to get. So you
but
know,
you have talked about that Miles with the cat.
I
So if you
have,
got
but
Pennywise, would you get that Miles or would you get like
well, see, that's the thing. I just can't settle on another figure like Captain Marvel. I've
sure.
thought about her for time to time. Maybe getting her for the Avengers, but
Yeah.
I don't really like the character.
Hmm.
How'd you feel about Captain Marvel and like?
It was fun, but it was meh, kind
Right.
of.
So
But
again,
it was
not a
yeah.
figure, not a character I'm in love with.
Right, right, right. Yeah, many other characters I'd rather have.
I've wanted a Tusken Raider for a while, but again, with like I'm in the same boat as you. Money's tight,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I got to be super selective. So is this a figure I need?
Do you have a Lando?
I do, yeah.
Okay, I thought you did. Yeah.
I got him. I got him on eBay for like 190 plus
Okay.
like $10 for shipping. So like again, under retail, and again, that's just where we're at right now, where you're not making your money back. Jamie's almost gone.
Hmm.
But I'm kind of in the same boat where, I have Hulk, I have a bunch of these figures that I've wanted to get, so I'm okay. I don't need to splurge and get two of these. Demogorgon's pretty cool, but
Yeah.
I don't really collect
I didn't know they had a
Stranger
Demogorgon.
Things. Oh, they got Stranger Things, buddy.
No
Three
way.
zero, 3-0 makes
Oh,
them.
okay. Okay.
Right.
That's cool.
So, I'd like to hear what you guys are talking about in the chat about these sales, because it's definitely interesting. And I don't know if anybody's like freaked out about this, like they think like the whole Hot Toys market's going to crash. I don't think that's the case. I just think we're in a different time right now, and it's almost like where we talked about Marvel. You're up and you're down. And I think right now maybe it's just down a little bit, and it's because of the recession
Do
that
you
we're
think it
kind of
has
living
to
in.
do with the Marvel movies sucking right now?
I think it
And
I think it
you know
has
what
to
I
do with
mean?
them coming out so late after Endgame,
Yeah. Sure.
because Professor Hulk came out this year, Captain Marvel came out this year.
Yeah. Well,
Rescue was
I just
maybe
feel like
late last year.
if the MCU, like if their movies are doing poor or the shows are poor, the average collector, is or a new collector is not really going to be looking for the figures.
One, it's just not
You
hot
know?
right now.
Yeah.
Marvel's just not hot. It's
Yeah.
Star
Yeah.
Wars.
Right.
Um, so I think like Captain America took forever to come out.
Okay.
Everybody wanted to get him right away, but then he kind of cooled off. So it's
Mm.
it's tough to say. But who's going after the Hobo Goblin? I love
Oh
that figure
man.
so much, and I'm trying not to order him.
So okay, I have a question for you. How come people aren't ordering them? I heard this before.
Aren't ordering Hobo Goblin?
Yeah, I heard like they're not wanting to something to do with limited supply or something. Come by now or whatever was talked about.
Well,
You know what
I
I'm
mean
bringing up?
that's kind of like Sideshow's FOMO tactics they're using, fear of missing out. They're trying to
Sure.
get you to pre-order, so they're sending these emails
Okay. So it's one of those
saying,
things. Okay.
"Once it's gone, it's gone. You better get it now." So,
Yeah. Yeah, I really want the Hobo Goblin. I mean, that's pretty
dude, that's
amazing.
one of your favorite villains.
He's top 2, top 3. Him, Venom, and Joker. I mean, you know. But yeah, man, just that face sculpt and pretty sweet.
Would you rather get the traditional Green Goblin or that hobo? They both come with a head sculpt.
I actually was thinking about that yesterday, and I think I'd want the hobo if I could only get one.
I think I would agree with
So
that.
because I would get probably the upgraded suit or something from the MCU more so than Tobey Maguire, right? So it just goes with that figure more.
Sure.
And the face sculpt is just awesome. And the outfit. I mean, just yeah. It's one of the coolest Hot Toys I've seen, in my opinion.
I agree. I think they nailed that head sculpt.
Yeah.
Yeah, Leighton Richards, what's up, sir? Thank you for stopping in. We're having a good time here with Robbie Dre from Brick Artemis.
Come on, Graham. Yeah.
I gotta get used to that. Hey, it's in its infancy. It's 24
It
hours
is
old.
yeah. Yeah. It's been around the block here and there in other channels, but starting to go off on my own here.
Well, you're always a part of the Jedi Knights Watch, and you're always
Oh, well, I
welcome
appreciate you.
to collab with me as well. We got 32 in the house. Don't forget to hit that like button. It helps the channel out a ton. Lets YouTube know that you actually like hanging out with me. So I appreciate you guys. Love hanging out with all of you. You guys rock the chat. So I appreciate it. I wouldn't even have to have notes. We could just go off of what you guys talk about. So I appreciate it. Daniel says, I looked at their sales. I already have everything that's on sale.
Yeah.
Typical. I know. And that's kind of what I'm like, too. Like, are there figures that I wouldn't mind having? Yes. But are there figures I want to spend that kind of money on? No, even with the sale. So
Right.
it's tough. Plus I have a bid hanging out there for Ripley. So I got to make sure that's going to like, somebody's going to beat that bid before I buy anything on the Sideshow deal. So
You're going to be
we'll
stuck
see.
with her.
I might.
It's not a bad thing, though. She's cool. You just
Yeah,
have to get the Xenomorph. You got to get the alien, man.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool. I know Andrew James said he would sell me his for a pretty good deal, but
Ah,
I don't know. I just couldn't pull the
that'd be cool.
trigger.
Because you could do stuff with him and Ripley, and then you can do stuff with the alien and your Predator. Like, there's a lot to
Right.
do with that.
Sideshow must have a lot of dead stock, big time. Yeah, probably. It's crazy. I mean, like I said, some of the stuff we've seen, like when I first started collecting, things were hanging around for what 3-4 months, and then out of stock, gone by. Then you had to go to eBay, and you were paying $100 more to get it. Now it's just been sitting here for forever. So it's not how it used to be. My retailer told me they were having pop collectors canceling orders on a daily basis. Interesting.
Yeah.
I thought my Star Wars collection was done after Rogue One. Then the Mandalorian came along in that same OT timeline, and here I am back at it. Yep. Sometimes we have a plan for a collection, but it doesn't always go according to plan.
Does Single Songwriter have a YouTube channel?
No, I don't believe so. I think single songwriter has just always been about being a part of the community. Just kind of
cool.
does a great job supporting all of the content creators out there. I'm actually really honored that he even watches my show because I always saw him in other people's shows too. So
well, let me know if any of these guys have a channel. I'd like to subscribe and
right. Fabs has a
up
channel, but you
community too.
probably don't want to waste your time with that one.
You guys are so hard on each other. It's great. I love it.
No, he's a good guy. Yeah, so single songwriter, great part of the community, very knowledgeable as well. So I never pre-order anymore. Any figure can be had for cheaper once released. Patience like a Jedi pays off. It's true. And I'm still willing to take that risk, even though like Peacemaker and a couple of these other figures are going waitlist before being actually released. So it's kind of a game of chicken right now with Hot Toys and Sideshow. So we'll see who wins and we'll see kind of what happens. But I agree. I haven't pre-ordered anything since the Back to the Future 3 figures. So just because circumstances change, and like you can attest to, Rob, like we're just in an unknown time where I don't want to be stuck with a pre-order and then all of a sudden I can't get it. So I'd rather just live in the moment, see what happens. I'm trying to do like one figure a month and then like see what figure I want the most at that month.
So if you don't pre-order and then it releases and then you buy it on release day, how much longer do you have to wait than the people that got it from the pre-order?
That's a good question. That depends too, because
So is it worth the pre-order is what I'm asking, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, if it's something you really want, I think so, because Sideshow will ship those pre-orders out before they have it in stock.
Okay.
And for the most part, I I have seen actually a circumstance or a couple circumstances where people had it pre-ordered and it was already in stock, but they were still waiting for theirs, and they're pretty pissed about it. I don't blame them.
Yeah.
So, I would snatch up Rex and Classic Wolverine right now, but I'm poor and I have too many pre-orders.
Yeah, that classic Wolverine is pretty cool.
I had that
Speaking of
conversation.
Wolverine, it's pretty cool he's going to be in Deadpool, but
Yeah, because we thought he was done.
yeah. I am kind of surprised. I know you're not the biggest Deadpool fan, but I'm surprised you don't have a Deadpool figure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an okay
Never
movie.
happened.
I have that conversation with myself constantly. I want this one and then this one and look at that one, but I need this one first.
Yeah.
Then
Maybe
I
when
hit
you see him
myself.
with the MCU, like with, Wolverine, you might change your mind.
That's right.
Yeah.
I got Nichols. Love to see Rob back on the channel. It's good to have him.
That's going to be on.
If you want 2 Stormtrooper commanders, you have to call Sideshow CS and they give you a 50% deal on the same figure only if you call them, though. That's a good point.
Oh, wow.
That's actually something I didn't think about. Is, yeah, what if you want 2 Stormtroopers or 2 Death Watch Mandalorians? So, yeah, you got to call. But at least there's a way that you can get that done.
Wow.
Payton plans on getting Hobo Goblin.
Yeah.
Venom.
So which goblin would you choose, Graham?
I would also
If
choose
you
the
got
Hobo
one?
Goblin.
Would you?
Yeah, I think that one. Typically, I always like battle damage, so
Yeah.
I would probably go with that one as well. The FOMO threat is real. I got almost 3 gone emails about Vision a couple weeks ago. Yeah, I got him about the Crow, the Sideshow Crow, and I'm like, this dude's not even like low stock. I got 2 emails in one weekend because I had him in my cart and then deleted them.
Man. So Vision's almost out?
No.
What does he mean about Vision a
So
couple
they're
weeks
sending
ago?
emails. Maybe he had it in his cart or he was
Oh,
clicking on it a lot. So then he'll get an email saying, hey, get Vision before he's gone.
okay. Okay.
Yeah. So these are
Got you.
tactics
So
that
FOMO.
Sideshow's been
Got you.
using
Okay.
lately.
Sorry, I read that wrong. Yeah.
FOMO. Fab says, and you're a part of the ICS anytime,
Aw.
Robbie. We will drop Graham immediately for you. There you go. You take my spot.
Sucker.
A single songwriter is just a viewer. X-Man Supreme says he's working on a new channel. I'll let you know when I finally get these videos edited.
That's the
Military
fun part.
figures.
Editing.
Yeah. Yeah. Tend to sell it quickly, so I'm preconditioned to pre-order figures I want. Daniel is, I think, just locked into Star Wars and then military figures. So those are the 2 that he
Okay.
collects.
Sweet.
We got Tremble Dust in the house. Says, hey people, what is going on, my friend? Thanks for stopping
Hey.
in. Says in the last 2 years, what figures have really sold out quickly after or even being released? I can think of only Boba Fett, Arena, and Heavy Mando. Heavy Mando was actually the one that sold out like when I was a beginner. And yeah, you couldn't get him. And he sold out before he was released, which was interesting. And then it didn't happen forever. Now it seems like it's going back to that a little bit with a couple of these figures, but I don't know. Pre-ordered Hobo Goblin.
When's his release date?
Oh, probably not for a while, my friend.
23 at least, or?
Yeah. All right, let's see here. So here, all right, almost gone. So 375 for the deluxe, or 285 for just the figure. Could you imagine getting just the figure, not the glider?
Oh no.
Yeah, I also think you got to get the glider if you're getting this figure.
Especially knowing that you can't, unless you on eBay, right? probably can't
Right.
find. Like if a few months later, like, yeah, I want to get the glider now. Yeah, just save up, get it both, or get them both.
Right.
Yeah,
Um,
he's cool too, though. Man,
yeah, so low stock remaining, we'll see what that really means, I guess. Let's see. Kind of okay, so that one April to June of
oh,
next
so
year.
that one's not even out yet. See, I'm
Nope.
way out. Okay.
And then
Well,
this one,
didn't another company do the Green Goblin? Is that what I'm thinking about?
yes. So there's a
Okay.
third party. I can't remember the brand, but
Yeah.
that one's been out. That one's actually a pretty good figure too, from what I've
Yeah.
heard. So this is
And this one's
October to March of
pre-95.
2024.
Oh,
Or it could be 2024.
hey, I might be able to buy it then.
I know, right? Kids out of daycare.
Yes.
But that that's a good point. Like it sucks that we have to wait for these figures for so long, but then at the same time, like I've had that same feeling where I'm like, but if I
Man,
pre-order this, I'll have kids that are in school that I'm not paying for daycare. So I'm like,
yeah.
it actually might be a good thing.
I don't know if it's because he's one of my favorite characters or if it really is truly just he looks really good. Like one of the coolest Hot Toys figures I've seen.
Right.
Man,
Yeah, that's really good. So
look at his ankles bending. That was on the glider. That's pretty crazy.
yeah, he's got the split
Man.
cut boot. All right, let's see here. Burned all my points on Sideshow today. Snatched the 1/6
Oh,
Jason
nice.
Voorhees. Yep, Hayden got it. Toys Era was the Green Goblin. Toys Era made that one.
Okay.
So that's that third party one. So all right. Well, let me just make sure. So yeah, we pretty much covered everything that we were gonna cover. So I think we're gonna probably end it tonight. But Rob, I hope you had fun.
Yeah, I
I
did. I hope
hope
I did okay.
well, you did great. I had fun just talking figures with you. I hope it's something that you want to do again. You're always welcome to be a part of this. So, um, I'm sure everybody in the chat loved hearing from you too. And it's always fun to hear like not always somebody that's been collecting for a while, like
Yeah.
the opinions or the I'm blanking on the word,
Some
but even
veterans
like
and some rookies,
right, just the insight
newbies. Yeah.
of you, yeah, of somebody that's new into the game. So
Right.
hopefully you really like your figures and you get a few more, here and there. But
Yeah. Got Spider-Gwen coming in Thursday.
yeah, so
Man.
we'll have to see how that goes for you, and you have to tell us how you like it
Oh,
because
for
it's not
sure.
a figure I have. So
Yeah.
cool
That's it.
beans. Well, thank you everybody in the chat as well for just being a part of tonight. You guys really are the ones that really help keep this show going too. So you guys did great. Appreciate each and every one of you. You guys have my back as well when I don't know something. So I appreciate that too. Hopefully, we keep the Tuesday nights thing going. So if you're around, hit us up. I will have stuff on IG so you know if I'm streaming. Outside of that, stay safe out there, and we'll see you soon. See you guys.
See ya.